In this video, I'm going to rank every single brand new weapon in Chapter 5, Season 2 of Fortnite. Of course, the season just launched last night about 10 p.m. Eastern my time, and I've played for a good amount of time. I say I have about 4 or 5 hours of in-game play time as of recording this, so I would say I have a pretty good grasp of kind of what the meta is going to look like and what we're going to expect in the future. But of course, these are my way too early opinions, so don't take them too harshly. But yeah, with that being said, let's get right into ranking these weapons. Also, any gameplay, of course, that is not mine, that is on the screen, will be linked in the description below, so go check out those channels. Okay, first up is the Wings of Icarus, and I think we're kind of starting off with what I think is going to be a hot take here, and again, I've gotten a good amount of playtime with these weapons, so I like to say that I have a pretty good grasp on it. The Wings of Icarus are a C tier item, okay, and don't come at me yet. Hear me out. Yes, they are incredible for mobility. Incredible. You can literally fly across the entire map. You can rotate from one spot to the other, fly. Perfect, great, perfectly fine. But as soon as you start getting shot, you're in trouble. Like, it's so slow in the air. Like, it's so slow. The ammo is great, and not ammo, but, you know, the usage, the time you get is great. But I have just found myself to be a literal sitting duck with this item, like, no pun intended. Like, as soon as I use it in the air, I will just start getting beamed, and once you take a certain amount of damage, it'll just automatically dive bomb you to the ground, and there's this long animation after you hit the ground where you're sitting still. Like, I think they do need a little bit of a speed buff. Like, I think it's just a little bit slow, the actual process of getting up into the air and flying and doing all that. And like, I think it's kind of a problem right now because so many people are loving the wings, but for me, I don't see the appeal right now. Like, I would actually probably rather use like 6 shockwaves than have the wings because you just get beamed, and they're such a cool item, which sucks for me to put it this low. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with a hot take. Yeah, these are a C tier item. And this is the Gatekeeper shotgun, and so the shotgun meta this season is Gatekeeper, Frenzy Auto, and the Hammer. And while I do think the shotgun is really good, and I do think it actually can and will compete with the Frenzy Auto this season, I'm going to put it in A. I'm going to put it in A because I do think that this is a really solid shotgun. Of course, it's close range, right? You have to be basically right in front of them. But when you hit those shots, you're going to notice that you're hitting consistently for 80, 90, 100, and again, over and over again. Like, this shotgun feels consistent. And of course, you know, I think you're going to really want to have a drum mag on this. I think 3 shells is just not going to be enough. But the fire rate is really good, and I do think that the shotgun will compete with the Frenzy Auto. I think people are going to have a tough time deciding which shotgun they want to choose this season. So yeah, I do think this is actually a pretty solid shotgun. I've had a good time using it. It's fun to use, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, this is an A tier shotgun. Okay, this is the Warforged AR, and I kind of had a tough time when I was thinking about where I was going to put this because I do actually think that it is probably the best gun this season. Like, just all around it feels super clean. You get a drum mag on it, you get 45 bullets. You know, I think a lot easier to control than the Striker, while I do think it's a little bit weaker than the Striker. I do think that this weapon in particular actually stands out in comparison to the other assault rifles this season. Like, I do think it's better than the Nemesis and whatever. So I would actually go as far as to actually put the Warforged in S. This is probably the best new gun that they added, and you have to remember, I'm just going off of only the new weapons that they've added this season. And yeah, in my opinion, the Warforged is probably the best out of all the weapons they've added. You can use it at close range, long range, especially once you get the Mythic. Yeah, this thing is really solid, so I would definitely put it in S tier. I do think it's better than what we have in A tier currently. All right, Huntress DMR, D tier, chuck it up there. This is one of the worst weapons I've used in a long time. I'm getting heavy Enforcer vibes from last season. Yeah, personally, I am not a fan of it at all. I don't think that it does anything particularly well. I will say, though, you're hitting for a lot. So if you are able to nail at least 2 shots, you're going to be doing 120 damage plus. I believe it does do over 100 damage on a headshot. So if you are really precise and you can hit 1 to 2 shots, like, yeah, you're going to do a lot of solid damage. But honestly, I would just rather hold a sniper. Like, I don't think there's a place in the game for this. Like, I don't know why you would take this over a sniper. I mean, I guess it could be a good substitute if you're still looking for a sniper. But no, in my opinion, this is the worst new weapon they've added. And yeah, it's definitely D tier. Zeus's Thunderbolts, and this is another one that I kind of had trouble placing, right? Because on one hand, it is very, very strong, very, very strong. It's like basically, if you guys know what junk rifts are, it's basically like 3 junk rifts. Like it goes through walls, and yeah, like if someone's sitting in a box, you use this, they're gone. They will be eviscerated. But again, like you're just a sitting duck. Like, and I hate how every time you do it, he has to do all 3 bolts. So you are literally standing still in the middle of the air with a bright blue flash around you the entire time, and you are just so prone to getting sniped and getting killed. I have used this multiple times where I have destroyed people, and then I've used it multiple times where I've gotten sniped out of the air, headshot snipe, done, forget about it. It's kind of like Deku's Smash and like all those types of things where you're just sitting like a duck in the air, and if you don't get hit, then you're gonna kill everybody. But as soon as you go up, you are prone to being sniped for about 5, 6, 7 seconds. So kind of a tough one to rank here, but I do think that it is very, very strong. I think people are still getting used to it. So yeah, I think it's for now A tier, but I can see that when people start learning how to counter this or whatever, I can see this being bumped down to B or even C. The Harbinger, however you pronounce it, SMG, really, really solid SMG this season. Again, I think people are going to have a tough time deciding whether to choose this or the Thunderburst. In my opinion, I would probably still go with the Thunderburst for now just because of the no bloom. But this is a very, very strong SMG. It's an A tier weapon this season, in my opinion. It is very, very, very strong. But again, it has a lot of recoil. Like you're going to notice once you start shooting this thing, that it has a lot of recoil, and that's actually because the gun is designed that way. The longer that you hold the trigger and you shoot, the more recoil you'll get. Fortnite came out and they said that that's part of the design of the weapon, right? So you're not going to want to be firing this thing, 30 bullets in a row holding the trigger, right? Like you're going to want to, not like tap fire, but shoot like 10, switch, whatever. And so for that reason, it makes it a little bit tough to use, but you're getting good damage, great fire rate. And it's a really, really good weapon. I think it deserves A tier, but I could see if you wanted to put it lower and put it in B. So yeah, this is all the new weapons that we have currently. Of course, only about 6 so far, but we are expecting the Deagle, the Drum Gun, the TAC AR to come very shortly. So I just wanted to get this video out as I know it is helpful to hear from somebody who has played a ton and kind of get that opinion out there. So yeah, this is my tier list. Let me know in the comments whether you agree, disagree, whatever you want to tell me down there. I will almost always get to every single comment. I read them all. So yeah, again, like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.